God is into the details. This is the thing that my mom would always say to me when I was growing up, and she would encourage me all the time that no matter what was going on at the time, and no matter if it was the most challenging times in the world, that God was in the details. Well, there was a detail last night when my daughter came in. She is 17 years old. She's driving, so that in itself, God needs to be in the details there. But she came to me and she said, I was having some challenges in the last couple of days, and I said, "Hey God, it's me, McKenna. I need a sign." And then she went and she did her thing last night, and there was a little sign that happened, and she just kind of moved on. I congratulated her today because I said, at 17 years old, your emotional intelligence is so incredible. And most people in their whole entire life never get to the point that you're at 17 years old. And it reminded me that God's in the details. And my mom would constantly say this to me over and over again. And it was encouraged me and it meant to me at the time, but I had no idea that it would guide me in the darkest times. Like through the valleys, through the times when I couldn't see anything at all, that there was no visibility, that those words, that God is into the details. And if it's dark right now and you're a little bit down, you're maybe in the valley, God's into the details. He knew you were going to be here. And then he sends little things, little cues, little nods, little signs like my daughter was asking for. Well, he sent me another one this morning, and it was Mike Bender. Mr. Mike is what I call him. Incredible neighbor, wise man, unbelievable human being, and a great friend of mine. And we were on the dog walk today, and he said, I got an idea for you. He said, he gave me the idea for my next book, and he told me it, and I just kept asking him questions, and now it kind of lit me on fire, and now there's a new book going to come. We're going to be working on it over the next probably 3, 4, 6 months, somewhere around there, but that's on the way. And then he, on the way out, he told me that the reason why he had this idea is because he listened to one of the podcasts. And I tell you, that is the thing. The greatest compliment you could give me is to actually listen to the podcast. If you catch this on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok, go to Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. That's where the entire podcast resides. And it would be an absolute honor. And honestly, it lights up my day. If people ask me what I wanted for Christmas, listen to the podcast. Listen to the episode of the podcast. Share it with somebody. But then if that wasn't enough, then I had a friend call me. His name is Matt Williams. He's the social selling guy on LinkedIn. The guy is a beast on LinkedIn, but he called me and it just made my day. And then I got a chance to be able to talk to my wife, and she just encouraged me. She was just like, you know what? Every single thing that is for you is going to be, because God has it that way. God's into the details. And so it was this reiteration over and over again that, these little tiny things that God will take care of. He'll give you a little nod. He'll give you a little sign. He'll give you a little, a little cue. And he just wants us to focus on him, and then he'll provide all of those things. In Proverbs 7, it calls us to seek out, listen, store up, and apply wisdom. It assures us that when we value it, we will be aware of the details, and this will encourage us and guide us when the visibility is faint. So why don't we get this party started?
Yeah. And this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights. Yeah, this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights. We begun surfing waves too low, made our own rules everywhere we go. Held tight to the truth that our parents declared. Anything is possible, the love stayed there. Now Rob's daughter ballin' on the end scene. Olay scene, Will's kids live dreams we never could have seen. This the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launchpad flights.
God is into the details. One of the details is this shirt that I'm wearing right now. This is from Bird Gang. And if you're not a golfer and you want the greatest shirt ever to help you feel as if you are a great golfer, Bird Gang is your choice. If you're a great golfer and you just want the most comfortable shirt that wears phenomenal, fits incredible, and enhances your game, Bird Gang is the answer. My pops told me this: if you look good, you feel good, you play good. Well, I would like to think that happens, but he also told me one time when I wanted Jordans, which are sitting up right behind me, the Jordan 4s in 1989, I was like, Pops, I got to have Jordans, because I was out playing basketball and he was passing me the ball and I was missing a lot. And I said, well, I just need to get these Jordans. He said, boy, you need to get good in those shoes you have on, and then we'll talk about getting you some Jordans. What he was telling me is put in the work, son. Put in the work, then go get the shiny things. In today's society, a lot of times you see the kids, they want to have all the drip before they've put in the work. But here we go. My pop said, it sounds like it was contrasting things that he said. Number one was look good, feel good, play good, right? So you got to look good, you got to feel good, you got to play good. And then, but on the flip side of it, he was like, put in the work. Put in the work before you put all the shiny stuff on. But I tell you, as a golfer, I'm not putting in the work. I promise you, I'm horrible. I was telling my buddy Duke yesterday, I met him at the Chamber of Commerce for Carlsbad. And if you're in Carlsbad and you're not a part of the Chamber of Commerce, you're doing yourself a disservice and your family and your business a disservice. Brett is the president there, and it is unreal what goes on in that chamber. But I met a guy named Duke. He's over the college World Championship for golf there, and he works with that organization. And we were talking, and I said, I'm a motivational golfer. And he was like, what? Do you actually get on the course? And I said, no, I'm a motivational golfer. If you want to feel good about yourself and your game, then you'll go golfing with me because I'm horrible. And then you'll be like, dang, my game was so great. But see, God is in the details. I started golfing not because I love it, but because my brother golfs. I started wearing the Bird Gang shirt because one of our friends, my brother actually works with the company, and one of his buddies that he grew up with started the company, Bird Gang, but I started wearing it. I started thinking about golf more because my brother Brad golfs, and I want to connect with him, but most of all, my brother Rob golfs, and I want to connect with him. So I go out and I golf and do all the things, but God's in the details, right? And so I went out, and I want to tell you what I'm holding up right now. You guys could see it. I want you to read it. If you're on YouTube, you could see it. If you're on Facebook, you could read it. If you're on Instagram or Spotify or wherever, on Apple, I'm going to describe it to you. It is a certificate that says Rancho Carlsbad. Congratulations, Kelly Cardenas. Hole in one, December 6, 2025. Hole number 4, 116 yards, par 3, 9 iron, Carlsbad, or Rancho Carlsbad Golf Club. Bang, bang, biggity, bang. God's in the details. Now, I'm not a good golfer, but you know what happened after I got the hole in one? I was able to connect with more golfers. I was able to connect with my brother more. He actually got mad at me because he said he golfs 2 times a week all the time. He's constantly locked in, and he ain't got no hole in one. He also told me that he had trained for a long time to be able to run a half marathon. And he's like, you called me one day and you didn't do any training and you finished a full one. Well, God's in the details. He wants to be able to put you in places and give you opportunities, but he's in the details. He's in the small little things that he knows that will create the connection point as you go along. So big shout out to my big brother, Rob, and big shout out to Rancho Carlsbad. Maybe I'll get sponsored by them. Hole in one, baby. Now this is going up here in the podcast room so you guys can see it and enjoy it, which will be great. But I think that, I believe, I can't say this with all certainty. I don't know if I was wearing a Bird Gang shirt during it, but I would think that I was because that helped my game out. Now, will I ever get another one? I don't know, but I got one and everything is good. So let's go into Proverbs 7, which is all about God being in the details. My mama was so great with this. She would just drop little gems on me. God's in the details, son. God's in the details, which would frustrate me at times because there was challenges going on, but she would tell me he's in the details. You wouldn't be in this spot if he didn't have something for you and he wasn't working something out for you. So as I went through with Proverbs 7, it calls us to seek out, listen, store up, apply wisdom, and it assures us that when we value it, we will be aware of the details, and those details will encourage us and guide us when the visibility is faint. You see, this morning as I walked around the neighborhood with the dogs with Ziggy and Skylar, I didn't realize that God was in the details. I went my whole, I generally meet up with Mr. Mike on my way out. We do a little loop and then we come back. Well, Mr. Mike was listening to, he was spending his time with Bella, his dog. And so I just walked by. I didn't want to interrupt him. On the way back, though, it was just like maybe a half a block. And he told me about the idea that he had for the new book. And I asked him some details on it. And then he told me he listened to a podcast, which made my heart sing. Thank you, Mr. Mike, for listening to the podcast. It has been my greatest honor and joy to be able to do this project. And it means more to me in the world when someone says, I listen to the podcast. That's Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. And I appreciate you. So let's dive into Proverbs 7. I'm the mom. This is what my mom would say all the time. I'm the mom. A mother's love cannot be questioned, so listen up. See, there was nothing that my mom would ever say or do. Now, not to say my mom was perfect and she didn't make any mistakes, but I tell you, you couldn't question a mom's love. If you're a mom right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a mama bear inside of all of you mamas, especially, Mama, if you got a son, there's a mama bear. There's a mama bear that comes out with either of your kids. But I tell you, I remember my brother came home from school. He said he wanted to be a quarterback to his teacher. His teacher said, you can't do that. And then my mom just about knocked that lady out. She went down and she just let her have it. You didn't want the mama bear to come out. Now, obviously, my pops was a strong dude. He was at times a scary guy. But I tell you, there is nothing that you want to face. Well, you want to face every single thing in the world except a mama bear. And especially moms. Huge shout out to you guys out there. You know what I'm talking about. And my wife, she's so funny. She'll pop her hoops out, pop some Vaseline on her face, listen to some Tupac, put some lipstick or some lip gloss on, and just, keep it gangster. That's how Brooklyn does it. I'm the mom. A mom's love cannot be questioned, so just listen up. And this is what it was talking about in Proverbs 7, is basically listen to your mama. Now, with my mama got her advice and the words from the one who created you in the first place. So she spent time with him. So it was a call out. And this wisdom was calling out as if it was your mom. Listen to your mama. Don't question that love. It can't be questioned. So listen to your mama. This was the second part of this in verse 5. It was funny because all I could see was my probably 4 foot tall Mexican grandma, Adelina Cardenas. Well, grandma, she used to call us mojitos, and I was like, why does grandma call us mosquitoes? But I had no idea. Little mojitos is what she would say, and she would write us notes when we would go and visit her. And she would be like, clean the living room, make sure the door is locked before you leave, and then she would write, P.S. No stupid girls. And we knew exactly what she was talking about when we would go and visit Tooele, Utah, and visit my cousin Jeremy and my cousin Stan and all our cousins, everything like that, and. Because in Tooele, we were kids from California, so we'd come in there, and we'd get to. My brother had some games, so we'd get to talk to some little girls that would run around, whatever it was. But my grandma was always, P.S. No stupid girls. Well, in Proverbs 7, it talks about the adulteress, and the adulteress, guys, is not just a woman. It's a figurative side. You could take it literal, but it's a figurative side, meaning that if you're married to your purpose, then anything contrary to that purpose would be adultery in that marriage. You see that? You're married to your purpose, what God had you to do and why he built you. If you bring anything else in, it's almost it's like when we talk about work your land, right? Identify your gifts, like work your land around that and build your life around those gifts and around that purpose and go give them away to every single person. But when you're married to your purpose of what God built you for, if anything else comes in that's contrary, that's adultery. So my grandma was saying, P.S. No stupid girls. We didn't realize that that little 4 foot tall, woman that could whoop anybody's tail, little Mexican grandma, if you have one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You love their food, but you don't want to be in harm's way. You don't want to, there's going to be a pan flying, a chancla flying, anything's flying at you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. In verse 6 and 7 is not seeking wisdom makes no sense. When you have no sense, you are susceptible to foolishness. Foolishness is just the absence of wisdom. And when you seek wisdom, you'll have sense. When my mom would say this or my dad would say this, like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Boy, where's your sense? Well, if you want your sense heightened and you want sense, simply seek wisdom. Where can you get that? From the fear of God. The fear of God is just spending time with him. See his words, his actions, they're in line. You respect him. That respect is the fear of God. So spend time with him. That'll bring you wisdom. But not seeking wisdom makes no sense. And when you have no sense, you will be susceptible to foolishness. And generally, foolishness comes in a bright, shiny package. And like my grandma said, it generally comes from stupid girls. But take the girls out of there and stupid ideas, stupid things, stupid people that come in that are contrary to the purpose in which you were made for. In verse 8 through 15, the dimmer switch effect makes the girls in the club look like 10s. The dimmer switch thing is a tough one because you never know that it's going down until you're already in the dark. The dimmer switch is that little tiny things. We compromise. We compromise on our values. We compromise on our purpose. We compromise on our principles, little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit. And it's like that dimmer switch. Once it gets to in the dark, it's too late. But a lot of times we don't realize because our eyes adjust to it every single time. That's the reason why we need to have wisdom in our life, and we need to seek it all the time. And that way we'll be able to see these silly things, these silly adjustments from a mile away, and we'll be able to slow them down. The dimmer switch effect makes the girls in the club look like 10s. And I tell you, if you've ever been out in the club and the lights have been dim, they've been a little dark, and you've seen somebody and you said, oh, wow, and then you saw them in the light, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Back in the day, they called it a strobe light, honey. In verse 16 through 21, her words are smooth and encouraging, talking about the one that's enticing you away from your purpose. They will play with your play to your voids. Whatever you're voided at in your life, it'll play to it. If you're, this is the thing. My wife said that people won't hear what you say. They won't see where you or what you do, but they'll only hear where they're at. If somebody's struggling financially and you hear something, financial advice, you gravitate towards it. You're struggling in your marriage, you hear marital advice, you gravitate towards that. And the crazy thing about foolishness is that, and something that's trying to get you off your focus, is all it does is just play to your voids. Whatever you're voided in, personally, professionally, spiritually, or financially, that's where it starts to come in. That's where it starts to entice with the little dimmer switch over and over again. And before you know it, that 2 looks like a 10 because of the dimmer switch. But just beware, because when the lights come on, you're going to see that she ain't got no teeth, she ain't got no hair. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So just be conscious of it. Pleasure can dull the pain. Before you know it, the damage will be done. Pleasure can dull the pain. We've all been there. If my family has dealt with it over and over again. When we talk about alcoholism, drug abuse, all these things, it's the pleasure that you get that dulls the pain. But just be conscious of this, because if you seek to dull the pain through the pleasure that's not in line with your purpose, guess what starts to happen? You get damage that is irreparable. We've all been through this. Honestly, we all have that cousin that's like, oh, well, they were on drugs for so long that I don't know if they're coming back. Now, it doesn't mean that a person can't come back. You know, my family has struggled with, again, alcoholism, drug abuse, things like that. And I've had people that have come back. But I have had times where I've met people or family members that have gone down that rabbit hole, and it's irreparable damage. And so, obviously God could fix anything and he can repair anything, but there are things that circumstantially that you're going to have to deal with when you do it. So just be conscious, because pleasure can dull the pain. Before you know it, the damage will be done. So in all of this, watch this. Do yourself a favor. Before your alligator mouth overloads your parakeet butt. This is what my pops would say to me all the time. Boy, don't let your alligator mouth overload your parakeet butt. And what he was talking about is don't let your mouth write a check that your butt can't cash. This is the thing that he would say to me also. Mr. Mike, those are two sayings that from our idea that we were talking about on our dog walk this morning. So just want to let you know that I'm listening and I'm honoring those things. But before your alligator mouth overloads your parakeet butt, meaning that you just say, oh, no, those things can't impact me. Listen to the words of my mama that she learned from the one that is into the details, so you don't have to experience the pain that will come from not listening. Proverbs 7 wraps it up in a bow. It says, hey, listen to your mama. And what my mama was saying is God's into the details. If he's into the details, then we spend time with him because he'll take care of everything else. And then it tells you all the things that'll happen in the event that you don't and how it'll go about, the dimmer switch, the smooth talk, all the promises, the pleasure that'll come, all those things. And then it brings it right back home and says, just listen. Just listen. Seek it first, listen to it, store it up, and then apply it. And keep storing it up even when you don't think you need it, because the circumstances are on the way that are going to be really shiny, that are going to be in the dimmer switch effect, that are going to look like 10s when they're actually 1.5s. And you're going to need that wisdom to tell the difference between the two, especially when visibility becomes very faint. The adulterous woman is anything that is contrary to God's will for your life. He built you, has a purpose and a plan for you, and he knows your name. Exactly what you need at the right time. And if you want answers, signs, cues, nods, or any of those aspects in your life to know that he loves you, he will provide all of them. Because it's just like my mama said, God is in to the details. All the details in my life, the Jeff Engels of the world, I want to thank you. Lavelle Casiero, Nick Horgan, Stacy Edwards, you and Dan, you're coming out for the Vibe Room. I want to thank you. All of our special guests that I'm not going to tell you who they are, but I tell you it's going to be amazing. Matt Williams for my call this morning, my wife, Brooklyn, my son, Maddox, my daughter, McKenna. Thank you. Thank you for the details. George in the neighborhood, thank you for the details. Lotzi, thank you for the details. My buddy Matt Scanlon, who is going to be at the Vibe Room, thank you for the details. Those little tiny things, the cues, the nods, but a lot of times we got to be aware of them. And the way that we become aware of them is that we seek wisdom. I want to thank every single one of you. March 11th is going to be the 10th straight sellout of the Vibe Room, a live version of the podcast. And I tell you, you do not want to miss this. It's live music, stand-up comedy, incredible interviews, and some of the most incredible people in the room sitting next to you that literally can shift your existence. Mr. Nick Rennell, I want to tell you how proud I am of you and that you're making connections. He went to the Vibe Room the last time, and he's in the U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for your service. And he is now an ambassador of the Vibe Room and just an unbelievable leader and has met some great people from there. So have a phenomenal day. You'll finally get a chance to meet my big brother Rob and my buddy Will, who I always talk about. They're going to be at the Vibe Room. I have forced them to be. Go out, get yourself a Bird Gang shirt, look good, feel good, play good. I don't know if it'll get you a hole-in-one, but it'll make you feel a lot better about your game or the way that you look while you're out there. Have a wonderful day. My name is Kelly Cardenas, and I'm officially off the hot seat. Peace, love, and soul.
Yeah, yeah. And this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights. Yeah, this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights. We begun surfing waves too low, made our own rules everywhere we go. Held tight to the truth that our parents declared. Anything is possible, the love stayed there. Now Rob's daughter ballin' on the end scene, Olay scene. Will's kids live dreams we never could have seen. This the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small rooms into launch pad flights.